Alright, so I know I want to be a web designer and developer, but do I need a computer science degree in order to pursue a career in design and development? Or can I just teach myself how to code? Can I just go on Google, maybe check out YouTube to see some of the coding tutorials? Or maybe go to one of those local boot camps in order to learn code? Will it be easier for me to get a job if I have a computer science degree versus if I don't have a degree? Do I even want to work for another company? Or do I want to just start my own firm, my own design agency, or maybe I have an idea of a product that I want to create? Or maybe I have the next Snapchat, or the next Instagram, or the next Facebook, or the next Microsoft or Google. So in that case, if I'm going to create my own company, is a degree necessary? Now, this is a question that a lot of people ask themselves, and with good reason. We live in a society that values education. Typically, you have a better chance of getting a job if you have that degree. Having a degree is a way to demonstrate that you know, or you're supposed to know, whatever it is your degree is in. So if you have a computer science degree, then that kind of means that you kind of understand or should understand programming, technology, algorithms, networks, and other related topics within this field. So not having a degree kind of means that it's going to be tougher for you to demonstrate what you know, because you're not going to have that piece of paper from a reputable institution saying that you got this. Alright, so now that just means that I have to work double time, triple time, in order to let the world know that I know what I know. Alright, so let's talk about this. Do you need a computer science degree? Yes or no? Well, the answer is yes and no. Everybody takes a different path. Everybody takes a different trajectory. Some people go the traditional route. They'll go to college, they'll get their computer science degree, they'll apply to work for a company, and they'll work their way up the corporate ladder. Maybe they'll stay with the same company their entire life, or maybe they'll learn how the industry works and they'll segue into starting their own company. That's a very traditional path. Now, others will either say, you know what, college is not for me. I'm good at math, I'm good at decision making, I think logically. That doesn't always mean you make the best decisions, by the way. It just means that you know how to think in terms of programming. There is a programmer's mindset. So maybe you don't have time for college or the patience for college, and you just want to go about it yourself. And maybe you don't want to work for that company, or maybe you don't want to climb that corporate ladder, and you just want to create something. So in that case, you don't need a degree. All right, so let's look at some examples. Let's look at some of the titans of industry when it comes to technology. Some of the household names that you and I both hear on almost a daily basis. First, let's start off with the college graduates, those with a computer science degree or related degree. And these are the Larry Page and Sergey Brin, they're the creators of Google. Elon Musk, who has a physics degree, and he's a creator of Tesla, SpaceX, and Solar City. And then you have Steve Wozniak, who has a bachelor's, but then was expelled from his college for having a little bit too much fun. And he co-founded Apple with Steve Jobs, who dropped out of college. Both of them together, they created Apple. And then we have Bill Gates, who dropped out of Harvard and created Microsoft. We have Mark Zuckerberg, who also dropped out of Harvard, and he created Facebook. We have Michael Dell, who dropped out of the University of Texas, and he's the creator of Dell Computers. So this goes to show you that having a degree means that you can make it to the top, but not having a degree also means that you can still make it to the top. Ultimately, it comes down to you. If you have that degree, you're gonna have a formalized education that's geared towards computers and technology and networking and programming and coding. You might have some other types of knowledge that you'll gain in college, which is business knowledge. That's valuable. A lot of coders don't know how to run a business, but that's okay because you could hire somebody for that. Being in a college environment means you're going to be surrounded by other like-minded people who are also trying to learn how to code. You have access to a professor who can help guide you. So having a formalized education does mean that you have a greater chance of understanding all the intricate topics that are involved with coding, developing, and programming. And you'll also develop some relationships with other people who are also pursuing that type of career. But it doesn't guarantee you that you're going to be a titan of industry. You also have to have the self-motivation, the ability to self-direct, the discipline to learn while others aren't. So if you choose not to get the college degree and just teach yourself how to code, then you're gonna have to try to find a way to make sure that you can duplicate the process of learning the fundamentals, learning the concepts of what coding is or what programming is, how servers work, how HTTP works, how websites are coded, what tools you're gonna have to use, what are the best resources. And this is something you could do either by Googling it or searching on YouTube. And there's a bunch of great channels here that you can learn from. And of course, there's third-party websites that can help teach you how to code. But beyond that, you could also go to a boot camp. And a boot camp is a good idea because that kind of gives you that similar experience to college. Well, it may not be as long as college. You may not have to be there for 4 years. Most boot camps are for about 6 weeks or maybe a few months. But you're still gonna be in an environment surrounded by people who know how to code. And you're gonna be trained by somebody, hopefully somebody who knows how to code and teach code. Now, if you are teaching yourself how to code, you don't have that degree and you're going to try to work in a company and you apply. And in the application, it shows that maybe you know HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, you know PHP or Python or Ruby on Rails, you know how to work with MySQL or MongoDB, and maybe you have a little portfolio, but you're competing against others who have a computer science degree. And maybe they know the same things. Then it's likely that they'll probably get hired, unless you could demonstrate that your skill set is significant. So what that means is that if you want to work for another company, if you want to work for a firm, and you don't have the credentials, or you don't have that degree or that piece of paper that says you know this, then you're gonna have to demonstrate it. And there's a bunch of ways to do that. You can build up your portfolio websites that you created. You can demonstrate your coding abilities either by putting them up on GitHub, or you can share your code snippets on your own website, and maybe even do some video tutorials on how to code. And with your resume or with your application, you can provide links to all of that. So that way they can audit your code quality. So getting a degree is very helpful. It does open up some doors. We still live in a society that values education, but times are changing. Access to information is easier now than it's ever been before. And learning to code, while may be difficult, the process is difficult. If you have the discipline, the desire, and the ability to learn, and you learn from the right resources, then you could probably become one of the best coders, or you could become an amazing coder. And maybe you're going to create the next Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or Google or Snapchat or LinkedIn or Microsoft or SpaceX or whatever. So the answer is yes and no. Having a computer science degree is helpful. Not having it doesn't necessarily limit you. It just depends on which route you're going to go, what your overall goals are, and where you are in life. Going the traditional route of going from high school to college, and then from college to the workplace. That is the traditional path. But some people go down that path and maybe they transition careers, or maybe they never had a chance to go to college, so they have the untraditional path. Everybody's story is different. What I will tell you is this: if you have the ability to learn, if you have the motivation, and if you could demonstrate your skill set, not having a degree doesn't mean you won't succeed. Again, we have the examples of those who have the degrees, who have made it to the top, and we have the examples of those who don't have a degree who also made it to the top. It comes down to your confidence, it comes down to your ability to learn, it comes down to your discipline, and it comes down to your reason why. And that reason will determine how motivated you are. Some people go through life and they say, you know what, I want to have a nice house, or I want to have a nice car, or I want to have nice things. Well, you can have nice things without being a multimillionaire. You can have a car without being a millionaire. You can have a house without being a millionaire. You can have a very good lifestyle without being a millionaire. That's why money is not always the greatest motivator. So that means you have to decide what's motivating you to pursue a career in web design and development. Maybe you want to start your own freelancing company. Maybe you want to start another company that's going to take the world by storm. Or maybe you just want to go the traditional path. Either way, having a degree but not having a degree won't guarantee success or limit you from attaining success. So like I said, this is a very difficult question to answer. And actually a couple of other YouTubers who I'm subscribed to have also gave their opinions and their ideas on this very topic. So you should definitely check out their videos. One of them is by Chris Hawks, and the other one's by Ricky Garcia. They both shared their thoughts on this very topic, so definitely check out their videos. Alright, so hopefully you enjoyed this video, and hopefully it cleared up a little bit on do you need a degree or not. If you're already pursuing a degree, then might as well finish it off. It'll help you climb up that corporate ladder. But if you don't have a degree, that's not gonna limit you. You just gotta get out there, you gotta market yourself, you gotta get known. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification icon, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.